All right, boys. We'll be looking at Merlin today. Fast Merlin, who's releasing tomorrow. She's pretty cool. Let's go to. Well, first of all, the banner. By the way, if you're curious, it has Diane, it has Green Sariel, it has Red Tarmil, it has Freyr, it has Jormungandr. Jormungandr's getting a relic, but it just makes deer even easier. But if you can't clear deer with Jormungandr already, then it won't help you much, I don't think. So it's just like a win more type of thing. Whatever. Anyway, let's go to her. So. Very cool unit, I think. Very creative unit. I don't know if she'll be meta. We'll have to obviously like actually play with her. So let's talk about her skills. No, let's talk about passive first, okay? Because her passive is very long. I believe they don't actually show it because this is the. Let me go to the Korean one because they do show it here. There, her passive is long. All right, it's another Yu-Gi-Oh text type passive. Now what her passive does is it makes it so at the start of the turn, she'll apply an element to all enemies, and then she increases all her attack related stats by the amount of element effects on them, right? So this screenshot that I have, it's you know, she has 21% because they're like they all have three like start of the turn. This is like at the start because they all have one element each, right? And then every time you proc it, they get a red version of the debuff. If I go, we can just go to the battle immediately. So if we, oh wait, hold on. You see how they all have this little element? I think in the Korean stream you could see it like slightly better. If we go, oh god, they play tested her too. The thing is, I can't lie, the showcase was kind of horrible, so it's like hard to pinpoint here stuff here. But you see these? So he had the white one, the tornado. Which the tornado makes it so you for each tornado for the tornado debuff makes it so you lose 100% crit chance, but for the debuff to apply, you need to have 4 debuffs on them, and once you have 4 debuffs on them, it makes it so you apply a random effect. Now, this should have it. Yeah, the random effects are rock. If you get the rock effect, it stuns them, which they did as well. Fire deals additional 50% max HP damage, so like against bond teams, that's really good. Water attack seals them. Wind reduces their crit chance by 100%. I think wind is the worst one, but it can be kind of good. But like you just want, like, stun is obviously the best one. It just completely disables them. And the way you do it too is you run her with like fast go through, so you seal Margaret's buff card so they can't cleanse it. Damage wise, she's not bad, but she's not that crazy. Like I can't say that she hard carried here, right? Now this is turn 1, I think. Yeah, you see the element on them, right? This is turn 1, her first card. This is Dissolve. This is Dissolve card. It did 109k, right? Which is like whatever. It's not like bad. It's not like great either, right? Unbuilt up is it pretty much the same thing. And then, oh, they just forfeit, I think, right? Because they don't like showcasing units. And then Diane carries the next one. But on the JP livestream, we actually had her ult, and she ulted 2 people. There's only 2 enemies. Like her ultimate is sick, by the way. It did 3 million. There's this type disadvantage on one, type neutral on the other one. It did this much damage because it does more damage for each element on them, and it applies 4 elements. So it's ultimate, apply 4 different element effects to all enemies, then deal 525 explosion damage. Explosion damage means it's 40% additional damage per element effect. Now she has this on her AoE too, so her AoE can do a lot of damage if you proc the effect a lot of times. Because every time you attack, you proc it. So if you do like triple AoE turn 1, right? You do like you do an Esterosa type thing, turn 1. And the second turn, you do this card. It'll do 120% more damage per enemy. So it'll do 360% more overall damage, which is nuts. So I think she can do a lot of damage. Now again, the showcases, they're not like, I can't take these as like an actual measurement of like damage and everything. They don't play like well, but her stats do look crazy. Like this is just with like the enemies. This is like turn 2 or something, I think. This is like lowered by bond, increased by bond, something like this, I think. Like the attack rate stats, so that's why it's like 25, 25, 25, and the rest is 21. So she seems pretty good. Now the issue is, if we look at in-game, which I am not currently, but I will be in just a second, she has an issue, a kind of big issue, where she's green. Now if we look at the meta is red right now. Bond team is is by far the best team right now, I think. I think a Chandler Esterosa team beats it, but that's like niche, I think. Most Esterosa teams don't even beat Bond like that. I think they still lose to Bond because Reinhardt can one-shot Esterosa. Which is really cringe. But it is what it is. I haven't logged in yet. Oh, no. It's fine. Anyway, I think the issue is not only that she, like, the issue is not that she's green. The issue is that I was apparently in a battle. Oh yeah, I was farming food. All right, whatever. The issue is that if we look at unknown units, which is it's this tab. Unknown units. Which ones are meta relevant, right? Echidna, green. Fesgother, green. Ram, I guess, but it's backline, green. Rimuru, green. They're all green. They're all green. Every meta relevant unknown unit right now. Lolly Merlin, I guess if you want to count her, green. They're all green. Every single one of them is green. So an unknown team doesn't really work. That's which is why they ran her with like Fesgother and Elizabeth, or like Diane and Fesgother. She works really well with Fesgother, right? That's why I'm wondering. I think Fesgother in general, like, he's one of my favorite units in the game. Her and Goddess Liz, Light Liz is like also like my Bloody Liz is also like one of my favorite units. So actually, I'll run that team and I'll be happy with that team. But I think if you're strictly summoning for just Merlin, I don't think it's worth it. I think you can skip her right now. That's my first impression. Obviously, we have years to figure it out because the banner will be out for like more than 1 hour. Okay, so tomorrow we'll have the showcases out, right? We'll see our first impressions actually using the unit, right? With maybe better gear than them, I don't know, max out outfits, different team comps, different enemies, actually using the right cards, so it'll be better. But let's see, do they do anything here? Like how much does the rank 2 do here, for example, right? Like they have a couple of elements on them, right? This should do decent damage. Let's see. She has her gang signs, her jutsu, and like 312k is not bad. 312k on a dissolve card. Imagine if this was the elemental explosion one, which they used earlier when they didn't have elements. That's why I'm saying like the showcase was bad. It's really hard to judge how much they do, right? If we go to like which they were doing this, I think he had a couple of debuffs on him. Yeah, it's not many though, but this is where they use like the rank 3, I think, or the rank 1. They're top. Okay, there you go. Right, so this is a single target against someone that doesn't have many elements either. You'll have so many more if there's 3 enemies, obviously, right? 3 enemies. So this is 250k. This would do like 350k to every enemy, right? And that's definitely one shot against every enemy. And if it's like a bond team and you have like the max HP debuff on them, the fire one it is, I think, yeah, then you do even more damage, right, to them, and then you probably one-shot them too. Now, the issue is that she's green and that they are red, which is really sad. Like, I don't know why they're so adamant about making green units now. I guess they thought Esterosa like needs a counter, which I think Bond team already was, or Echidna already was, Rimuru already was, I think. So I think like making her, like, if she was blue, she'd still been neutral to Esterosa and support the unknown team in a way that they actually needed, so it would have been better. But they didn't, so it is what it is, bro. But there's the translations. I think that's all you need to know, right? She has a dissolve card, she has her elemental explosion card, her passive applies elemental explosion, she increases all stats. When they have 4 elemental effects on them, it applies one of these debuffs to them based on the element they have. And then her skill 2 is a weak version of her ultimate that just does damage based on how many elements they have. And her ultimate also applies 4, so if you just ult rush and you do it, you'll probably always ult, field wipe if she's 6/6. But there's other units that you can do the same thing with, so I don't think if that's like, that shouldn't be a reason for summoning for her. But regardless, I mean, I'm gonna summon for her. I think the banner is really good. Like, from what we know so far, it has they show the banner here, right? Okay, bro. There. It has Diane, it has Merlin, it has these units, and that's such a good banner to have, like, to summon on and spend your gems on. And we're getting like 11 multis. So we're getting, oh, that's whatever, who cares? That's not the right thing. Where do they show it? I'll put it in the chat there too. So we're getting these gems, which are 150 gems, which is really good. And then there's like another thing, that's 5 multis. Then we get the free multi, the 6 multi. And then we get 50 gems somewhere else again. And then we get another like 40 somewhere else. And then we get like some other gems somewhere else. We get like a lot of gems that are like spread out throughout this like whole thing. And we also have the bingo thing. We also have a lot like other stuff. What is this? Rank? Hold on. Wait, rank increase? Did no one talk about this? What is this? This is another like gems. Oh yeah, and then we're getting this like if you finish story chapters, oh, this is on a Korean stream. If you finish story chapters, there's like more rewards as well. There's these extra like 50 gems from here. It's a lot of gems, okay? And then this thing, for each chapter you complete, you get another 3 gems now. And some like other stuff, which is really good. Like there's so many gems you get in the celebration. The celebration is cracked with gems, right? It's infinite amount of gems. Like I'm gonna put this in the title too. This is gonna be like roughly like what, like 150, like I'm gonna ballpark like 350 gems, I think, plus like the 10 tickets, plus we get a Sariel rewards probably now too, and plus you get the PP rewards. We get like 1 million gems this now. Then you have the weeklies, the dailies, whatever. Like nuts amount of gems that we get right now, right? Actually nuts. So if you need all the units on the banner, 100% summon, but you can also just skip. We'll have Halloween after this, which should be an easy skip. They're never like super meta relevant. Gother is different, but like, I mean, last year's Diane and Slater, Matrona was short-lived too. Like she wasn't like used that much. Like she was used like a little bit for Bird, and then that was it. So until Trainer Medic came out. So it's not like the Halloween, I don't think they'll be that crazy. Now I think Halloween is gonna have an Escanor, and it's hard to not make a good Escanor, but I believe that they can do it. They can do it. But regardless, I mean, I think I'm actually really hyped for this. There's so much stuff like content-wise too that we have in this. But yeah, we have this 150 gems, another 25 gems here, bro. It's like 350 gems. Gems from this 2 cards, the ticket, free level 90, like infinite amount of stuff. So anyway, but that's the move of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Good job.